playtime's over because tonight somebody's going to get their ass whooped tonight in here.
Why do I run and why do I hide when I see it coming further on down the line? Why do I sing and why do I write these songs? I know I'll try to these thoughts of mine, but the springs of ideas I just wish.
Hello everybody and welcome to Bowling Shoe Handsome for Monday, February 6, 2012. I'm your host, Kevin McElvaney. With me here, as always, the man, Young John.
Thank you.
Say hello to the nice people.
Thank you. You know, I was about to say that you're the reason why I hate white people, but after that remark, I kind of like you now.
Well, I think you're the man, so
I appreciate that.
I think that's all that matters in this between the two of us anyway. And it's good to be here with you again, Young John, and I'm very excited for tonight's show. We have sort of a topic that's got a dualistic nature about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Elaborate,
yeah.
Damn it. I mean, please elaborate.
So, before I elaborate, I want to put out there that we have some great music coming up tonight, too. So, absolutely stay tuned for that. But now I'll elaborate. A full 4 seconds I made you wait, and now I'll elaborate. Tonight's topic is basically about these characters who are so divisive, and in being so divisive, are perfect because they are the center point of the show. Love them or hate them, they have the whole crowd interested. And, of course, you're probably thinking John Cena. Well, we'll talk about him a little, but we're not as focused on him tonight. A couple of things over the past week and a half have really piqued my interest here, and I sort of want to address them and get Young John's thoughts, of course, as well, because they will be something of a clarification of the craziness that's going to come out of my mouth, and will probably make a hell of a lot more sense anyway. So, John, again, I sort of want you to help make sense of these ideas that I'm having that are a little bit scattered. But before we do that,
Okay.
Before we do that, let's go to a song.
Okay.
Now, this is a first. Now, I've said repeatedly on here that every song I play on here, I get the permission of the artist. Well, I didn't in this case.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Well, the artist is, of course, Lil Wayne. And this song is no. I didn't get the permission of the audience. If I get any Lil Wayne songs in the show, I will definitely have to get permission. I don't love lawsuits. This band is from the UK. They're called The Toys. They're not to be confused with the girl group from Jamaica, from the 60s. This is a band called The Toys. They're a 70s like power pop punk band. And the only reason I didn't get permission to play this music, this band released exactly 2 songs.
Really?
Two amazing songs, and I've been able to find nothing out about them apart from that they put this one thing out. There's no contact information. This was never released on any kind of record label. So if you're from the Toys UK and you somehow managed to stumble on this and you have a problem with me playing it, I would gladly take down this edition of the podcast in exchange for some more music that you guys might have recorded back 40 years ago.
You know who might know them because, you know, as we all know, the UK consists of maybe 20 people. Maybe
Harry Bonnet,
or Nathan Gonzalez. Nathan Gonzalez doesn't really slip off the tongue better than Harry Bonnet.
No, it doesn't. Anyway, let's go to the song. This is the first of the 2 songs from the Go to the Police 7-inch, and the song is called Go to the Police, The Toys on Bowling Shoe Handsome.
You get to be the one to catch a man
love that song, Young John. I don't know why that band didn't record more, but I really wish they had. We hope you enjoyed that. So
Yeah, we really hope you did.
we hope
From the
and pray
bottom
that
of
you
our
did.
hearts, the bottom of our hearts.
Bottom of our blackened hearts.
Well,
Our charcoaled.
That's what cigarettes. That's what 40 years of cigarette smoking between the both of us. Our chain smoking is just caught up, and now our hearts are black. But we hope you enjoyed that song.
We hope it was worth it. We hope it was worth it. Damn it. Okay.
We're really we're really having dueling reactions here, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We are. A lot of dualistic nature going on. Nature tonight's broadcast. And Young John.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan, thoughts?
Hulk Hogan.
We don't have enough time to get into that. Young John, thoughts specifically about Hulk Hogan and his quasi-retirement from TNA following Bound for Glory, only for him to return at a house show about 2-3 weeks ago.
I got a text from you when this happened, and you were pissed.
Yeah.
You rarely curse, even in text messages, but
Okay.
I learned some new words from you that night.
Yeah.
You were pissed. You were really pissed. And I could see why, because, you thought you saw him retire at Bound for Glory. But as we all know, retirement means as much as sobriety in pro wrestling. Right. It's just a word that gets thrown around. It's a buzzword. I remember my thoughts about Ric Flair retiring. I thought by SummerSlam he was going to be in a program with Shelton Benjamin. And
at the time, I think you said Backlash.
Backlash, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I stretched to SummerSlam after his retirement ceremony on Raw the next night.
Right.
But I'm not too bothered by it personally. I mean, if I was more into wrestling at this point in my life, I feel as though I might be a little pissed. But it's Hulk Hogan. TNA is paying for the name, and they're paying for the guy to come out and he doesn't say prayers anymore. I guess he's more of a
strictly vitamins kind of guy.
Yeah, he's strictly the special vitamins, the Lenny Dykstra vitamins.
The Fred Flintstone vitamins you're talking about, of course. We don't want any kind of
Of course.
Yeah, any libel on our hands here. So, all right. Being pissed off aside, I kind of looked at this as the reason I was the reason I was pissed off was because they played it up as this big final last hurrah. It wasn't so much a way to turn Hogan faces, it was a way to send him out on a high note. And this has been done to death in the past, since WrestleMania 18 with his match with The Rock. It's been recycled, and who cares?
Was that also a retirement match?
No, but that was sort of he was going to come back for one last run.
Oh, gotcha.
And I'm just kind of I'm tired of it. But then I realized it doesn't not matter that I'm tired of it. It's great that I'm tired of it, because Hulk Hogan, despite me and Andy Bernard and a few other people in attendance at Bound for Glory in Philadelphia, most of the crowd loved him, and there was a small but vocal portion that hated him. Not unlike John Cena on Raw, not unlike plenty of other circumstances we've seen with wrestlers who have had these divided crowd reactions.
Wow.
And you got to wonder, when people are getting these kinds of reactions, instead of calling it off and saying this isn't working, even as the boos start to get louder and louder, the crowd starts to get more and more split, they say, no, this is perfect. The entire crowd is engaged. And I think that's why Cena's never turned heel, to tell you the truth.
That's an amazing way to look at it. And my thoughts about Cena turning heel. Why change a good thing? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Mm-hmm. And just because you're hearing half the crowd boo and the other half cheer, it's still not broke, because as you said, it's all reaction. It's all reaction. That's like
right.
getting rid of a heel because everyone's booing him.
Right.
That's stupid, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, reaction is reaction, basically.
Reaction equals ratings.
Now, I mean, again, how long and how effective Hogan can be. I mean, he can't wrestle in the way that he could even 5 years ago, which was nowhere near what he could do 10 years before that, which was less than he could do 5 before that. And so, and it's, I mean, that's not knocking the guy. He's older and he's really beat up, but you can't really pivot a promotion around him in the same way. So they're going to have to, do what they can here. But I do think on some level, it's probably best that I'm not running TNA and kicking Hulk Hogan off of TV, because I'd probably get a lot of people who are engaged right now completely uninterested. And I'm not saying that Hulk Hogan is a savior for TNA. I'm not saying he should be the focal point of the product for a long period of time, but there's a lot of other problems with TNA, and it's not all just that Hulk Hogan is there. I think Hulk Hogan serves a purpose.
Yeah, I just thought about this now, and I don't know if this is news or anything, but does anybody check the sales figures for like TNA's shop? Because Cena sells the house out in terms of T-shirts and wristbands and whatever else he sells. I wonder if they get a good amount of T-shirt sales from Hulk Hogan. I'm looking at TNAshop.com right now, and they have a lot of Hogan products on here.
Well, just judge him from the crowds on the weekly show on Impact, and from being in attendance at Bound for Glory. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Hogan merchandise floating around, so I would think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking, and like they have like the Hulkamania shirt,
right?
Like, the actual Hulkamania shirt. Yeah, the classic shirt on shoptna.com.
Mm-hmm. Hogan owns a lot of his own copyrights to his own intellectual property.
Smart man.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of it wasn't originally his property, and then he sort of bargained it out of WWE. There's been a lot of politics over the years, and he's been smart about certain things like that.
Yeah, so. Him and Gangrel both.
Yeah, Gangrel, the astute businessman, conniving businessman, Gangrel. Heard horror stories about how efficient Gangrel is at getting what he wants.
Mr. Lunafashan.
Yep. And we've the last 20 or so seconds about Gangrel, in case you didn't gather, we're completely made up, except for Mr. Lunafashan. But all right. I think we should go to a song here, Young John, and then I want to pick up this topic on the other side of the coin, the WWE variation on this topic.
Okay,
and believe it or not, it's not just John Cena. But go ahead.
I'm very excited about the next song because it's somebody who was in the Cheddar, and now he's going to be in the music portion.
Yeah, he's been in both portions of the show, the Cheddar and the music portion. In case you just tuned in, this is Bowling Shoe Handsome, the show where I repeat what the guy before me said in an attempt to make it sound like I have something relevant to say. Also the 147th most okay. This song is by former Bowling Shoe Handsome and hopefully future Bowling Shoe Handsome guest Mike Bessler. This is one of his songs, and this was recorded in honor of the year beginning the Mayan apocalypse 2012. And appropriately, it begins. The song is entitled It Begins. Mike Bessler, the Music Man, on Bowling Shoe Handsome.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
Well, not a dry eye in the house. John is still laughing at my description from before the break.
Mike the Music Man Bessler.
I think he'll appreciate that.
I think you will too.
And I actually have a response, a musical response to what he put forth there later on in the show, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
So, get ready to plug your ears. But anyway.
With earphones, of course.
Of course, to hear all the intonations. And
Kevin, did you hear how I saved that?
What? I am thoroughly lost. Anyway, so speaking of people who are not Mike Bessler, but who are people who divide the crowd, Daniel Bryan. We talk a lot about this guy on this show, and it's because a lot's been going on with him. And as much as I've been in a state of total despair about his mismanagement, or my perception of his mismanagement by WWE, Daniel Bryan is in a position now where he has the crowd, again, engaged. The crowd is interested in what he's doing. Some of the crowd hates him. Some of the crowd loves him. You see this divide, and I think this is really interesting, young John, here. But I want to get your thoughts. But first, I just want to put this line out there, and then I'll ask for your reaction to this one line, and then I'm going to put out my ideas about Daniel Bryan, and you'll respond, and we'll go back and forth, and it'll be something of a dialogue, if that sounds good.
Sounds great.
Okay, so the dialogue here. So it's going to be this line I want to put out here is sort of a throwaway thing that Michael Cole said on Raw. This was after they showed an image from WWE Magazine, and there's an article in this month's issue saying what would happen if Daniel Bryan and Bret Hart, both submission experts, got into the ring together, who would win the match. And as they cut back to Raw, Michael Cole mentioned that Daniel Bryan something about Daniel Bryan and the way the crowd reacts to him. It's almost shades of Bret Hart, the Canadian hero. Now, what do you make of that?
Shades of Bret Hart, the Canadian hero. And
you remember specifically what he was talking about, what the Canadian hero Bret Hart was, who that was, like what he was doing, why he was a Canadian hero.
No.
Towards the end of his initial WWF run, Bret Hart was booed roundly in the U.S., cheered wildly in Canada, split the crowd. He did certain things that were not really heelish things at all, depending on who was looking at it. But then other things that were, very much against what the crowd would want. Certainly in the United States. Do you remember? This is specific.
I do.
Shawn Michaels. Yeah.
Yeah, this was I think he brought back the Hart Foundation, right?
Yep.
Okay, and he used to have like the flag on a pole match on Raw.
Yeah.
Wow, that's you go, Michael Cole. That's a great analogy. Here's the thing about Daniel Bryan, that I guess I kind of disagree with that comment, because it's not, people aren't as wildly polarized to Daniel Bryan, because you said earlier he has a lot going on with him, but at the same time there hasn't been a lot going on with him. He comes out to the ring, he cheers with the crowd as if he just won the title the night before. He gets in the ring for a bit, is a technical wrestler for maybe 5 minutes, and then lately he's just been chickening his way out of the match. And just runs back with the title as if he just won it again, which is cool. I mean, that's reminds me of Rey Mysterio when he won the title, and Big Show was trying to beat him, and Kane was trying to beat him. It was great to see him, get out of the ring with a win, or at least without a title change. So, I like the analogy, but I don't see it really applying with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan doesn't really have that much crowd reaction behind him just yet.
Okay, good. And I'm actually glad that those are your feelings on this, because I look at this as, he's not at that level yet. But at the same time, with them mentioning that, they sort of want to plant this idea in your head that he's a hero to some people, and he may seem like a bastard, but some people love him. And they want to show that there's something worthwhile about him, and have him seem like he's a worthy champion in some regard, I guess. Mm-hmm. And granted, he's cheap shotting his way out, and I don't know how far they're going to go with this, but I just look at that line as being very telling. And I think Daniel Bryan, if he can just play up to this smart crowd. I mean, for example, on Raw, he and CM Punk had a couple verbal jabs at each other before their match. Great match, by the way, last week's Raw. But at the same time, they were overall pretty respectful of each other. They did the ROH Code of Honor handshake before their match.
Nice.
They acknowledged similarities between themselves before the match. So in other words, he and CM Punk have a mutual respect. He thinks Big Show's a scumbag. He being Daniel Bryan, So and there's no reason for him to think that, according to the way Big Show's acting and all that. But he has respect for CM Punk, who the crowd also loves. So it's sort of he's playing up to this one portion of the crowd who are going to cheer him no matter what. And WWE recognizes that if they can rally that portion of the crowd, those are less people who are going to be sitting on their hands during the matches.
That's great that WWE is picking up on that and they're trying to capitalize on that. Usually it takes a frying pan on the backside of their head for them to get an idea.
Right.
And to see what the crowd wants and how they can appease the crowd in that manner. So That's great. That's great that they're that you see that, because I trust your eye when it comes to stuff like that.
I mean, it may be wishful thinking to a degree, but I think this is the way that he could make a mark. Because if you look at him in some other ways, you can't. It kind of seemed like for a little while when he was rising up and CM Punk were rising up, it seemed like two CM Punks were rising up, and the one was a little bit more mild mannered.
Yeah,
that wasn't.
Yes, I could definitely see that.
Right, and they weren't. That's not going to do anything for him. But now, like, he's starting to differentiate himself. He's being this pious vegan character, and talking about how he doesn't eat meat and that makes him better than other people. And it's not everything he's doing, but it's part of what he's doing. And I think he's making himself stand out a little bit. And there's a certain part of the crowd that's like, okay, that doesn't bother me at all. They even sort of had, like, CM Punk made fun of him for it. Funnily enough, off camera, I believe CM Punk, he's not vegan, but I think he doesn't eat meat. I could be wrong about that, but I think I remember a tweet about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not vegan.
No, he's not vegan.
I remember that tweet too. I think it was like January 1st. He said, "Oh, I'm vegan this year," and then like 10 minutes later, he said, "Oh, I'm still a vegetarian this year."
Yeah, cheese is pretty delicious.
Yes.
So,
now
couldn't do the vegan thing.
No, me neither. Now, how do you see Daniel Bryan as being the anti-Cena?
Right. Okay. So John Cena is the champion of the average fan, right? The mainstream WWE fan.
That's a great way to say it.
Right, and he's loathed by a portion of the audience that's grown a little bit. This smart part of the crowd, or whatever you want to call it, and this older, crankier part of the crowd, of which we're a part.
Yes.
They hate him. So Daniel Bryan's the flip side of that. We love him. The older, cranky people love him because he's a wrestler's wrestler, and the smart fans love him because that's what he appeals to that base. But the average fan, because of the other stuff he's doing, hates him.
I like it. That's a great way to see it.
Yeah.
I don't mean to toot your horn, but toot.
Toot, thank you. But really, that's not a bad niche to carve out for yourself, seriously, because you have one guy like Cena and one guy like Daniel Bryan, and granted, he's not at Cena's level or anywhere near it yet, but in terms of crowd reaction and all that, and being a fixture of the programs, but if you can get the two of them even close to on the same wavelength, you're gonna have a really into it crowd for their match, and they could have a great feud with each other because, again, they're yin and yang.
Yes. Now the
not Jimmy.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Damn it. I was hoping you were gonna go Jamie Noble and Jimmy Wang Yang. Now, I know I hammer this home week after week, but hopefully, in order for Daniel Bryan to stay atop the rankings and stay atop the championship, the championship ladder, kids are gonna have to like him too. The main crowd's gonna have to like him too, because that's where a lot of the buy rates come in. That's where a lot of the T-shirt sales, the wristband sales. Granted, I don't know if Daniel Bryan has any merchandise. I imagine it's just a plain white T-shirt with Daniel Bryan markered in or something. I can't imagine.
It's very similar to what you just described, actually.
I believe it.
WWE shop.
I'm on WWE shop right now, and Daniel Bryan. It's a picture of Daniel Bryan and I guess it's like he's in like a winter wonderland, and half of his body is like spray painted white.
Wow.
It's very strange. I'll send it to you during one of the music breaks.
He is very strange. He actually, they were showing clips of the upcoming WWE YouTube channel.
Okay.
And there was some show, and they were asking people. I feel like everybody was talking about Rocky, and I don't know what prompted the conversation about Rocky, but they were asking people, and they were making all these comments. Oh, and this was my favorite movie, and I liked this. I liked Rocky 1, blah blah blah. And then Daniel Bryan said, "How about You Got Mail?" For some reason, he brought up the movie You Got Mail with Meg Ryan. And he said, would it be strange to say that my ideal woman is Meg Ryan and You've Got Mail? No, I guess I'd be the only person who would say that.
And this isn't a conversation about Rocky?
I totally missed the context for it, but I think everybody else was talking about Rocky, and somehow he was talking about You've Got Mail.
Right.
I don't know.
Here
we go. And actually, if you look at this, I see this link here.
Yeah.
And actually, if you look at the wristband, that's what his original T-shirt design was.
Oh, really? You just said Daniel Bryan?
With the ring in the middle of it. And he designed that, apparently. So, DIY, punks, etc. Punk rock. All right. What? It's a little punk rock. All right. We're going to go... let's go to some music here.
Okay.
Okay. Because I wanted to, you know what, we'll go to the music and then we'll come back. So this is the other song, and by the other I mean the only other song by that band, The Toys, from the UK, and this is again from the Go to the Police 7-inch, and the song is called Breakdown.
It's 'cause of someone else. I was there to bring you up because they took you down. Are you alright now? Go on, break down and cry on my shoulder. Break down if it helps, take my hand. Break down and get him out of your head. And ever since we first started, I could tell there's something wrong. You came to me broken hearted 'cause they took you down. Are you alright now? Go on, break down and cry on my shoulder. Break down if it helps, take my hand. Break down and get him out of your head. You came to me for understanding, but now it's doing something else. I want you more than you can imagine, 'cause they took you down. Are you alright now? Go on, break down and cry on my shoulder. Break down if it helps, take my hand. Break down and get him out of your head. Go on, break down and cry on my shoulder. Break down if it helps, take my hand. Break down and get him out of your head.
All right, Breakdown by The Toys on Bowling Shoe Handsome. So, Young John, I kind of wanted to get into like awful reality shows and about how we watch them because we sort of love and hate the characters. We're running a little bit long. Do you have anything to say in regards to what we've been talking about tonight? Even if you could connect it in any way to a reality show, it'd be helpful. But if not,
well, I think it connects perfectly because people watch these reality shows because it's that whole car wreck effect or a train wreck effect. You can't look away because it's just so bad. And I think that's the case with Cena. I mean, I stopped watching wrestling because of John Cena. When he won the Royal Rumble after being a surprise entrance, I said, I'm done. That's it. I don't care for this anymore. But some people, they might be intrigued by this. They might hate it so much that they're just like, I want to watch to see this guy get his ass kicked.
Right.
Meanwhile, he's a face.
Right. Yeah, that dualistic nature again. I mean, some people probably love the situation on Jersey Shore. I don't want to meet these people, but some people probably love him.
And you know, there was this guy.
Other people-
There was this guy on the Mike on the Real World, who people probably didn't like him either.
Mike Mezzanine?
I don't remember names. Mike from the Real World. He wanted to be a wrestler, and he would copy The Rock.
Yeah.
But he's another guy. He was very polarizing.
Right. But that's what makes people turn in. And we're showing our age a little bit here, but Puck.
Jeez, Puck.
Remember him? Yeah.
Yes, I remember Puck.
God, that was, I think, the one Real World season I watched.
Yes, that was back when the Real World was actually kind of real.
But even then.
Although even back then, because we were kids and we enjoyed it, there were probably people older and saying, this is totally scripted, I don't like this. It's kind of like how Hulk Hogan, I was watching Royal Rumble 91.
Right.
It was ridiculous what this guy used to get away with in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting his ass kicked. I forget who by. I think it was Earthquake and somebody else. And he just totally stopped selling. And he wasn't even doing the Hulk Hogan, like the whole shake, like the I'm getting up now, brother. It was just him just not selling and just double suplexing Earthquake, and I think it was Haku. And, watching John Cena now, I'm thinking, guys our age back then must have hated Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, and actually, that's what I get from a lot of people I know, wrestling journalists and things. I'm not going to name names, but some of the people from certain magazines I've worked with, they couldn't stand Hogan. They were bored of, not everybody. Some people recognized him for what he was, and they're, but some other people and some other older wrestling fans I know, man, they couldn't stand him. And even I think, my older brother who has a good amount of years on me, I mean, he used to root against Hogan, and I hated him for it. And to this day, I think I still hate him for it. I've never forgiven him.
You're not a real American.
Exactly.
And it's funny how it's similarities with, John Cena comes out and salutes, and we're all like, you're not a real Marine. Come on, knock it off. What makes Hulk Hogan the ideal American?
Right, to wave the flag like he's at Iwo Jima or something. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But
so there goes our childhood.
Yeah, there goes our and your childhood. Sorry we ruined everything, folks. Good night. Oh, no, we're still going to record. We're just going to make it worse for you.
Ooh.
And here we go. Here's my musical response to Mike Bessler. I thought I'd dig this out. Apologies in advance. This is my old band, Mr. Heavyfoot. And this is a live track that we recorded. The song is called Interference. So that was my old band, everybody.
Mr. Heavyfoot,
Yeah.
old school.
Yeah, old school. Yeah,
Old school
2005.
hardcore oi punk.
Yeah, man, we were the cocksparrer of our day.
You know, watch your mouth, sweetheart.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Apologize. We were the bird spurrer. Anyway, bird? No. Okay.
Where's the word?
Yeah, bird. All right, that's about it. Young John, do you have a background this week?
I do have a background this week. It is Demi Moore. Before she started huffing whatever, I think she was doing whippets.
Whippets, yeah.
Is that what it was? It was whippets.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, she was banging whippets with Bruce Willis's daughter.
Really?
Yeah, I think she was there. I think she was the one. She was in the background, and she kept. You could hear Demi Moore asking for his daughter. I don't know what her name is, but apparently, she's older now. I think she's in her 20s, the daughter. And Demi Moore still looks pretty vivacious. So I think this picture's from 2010.
So she was still with Ashton Kutcher at that point.
Yes, and it's funny because I was looking for pictures of her, and the only times she looks really good and smiling and happy is when she's with Ashton Kutcher. But I don't want Ashton Kutcher on my background.
You should.
I have a no douche zone. I don't know why I said that. I have nothing against him. But yeah, the background of the week is Demi Moore. And I'm pretty excited about it. If you know what I mean.
You're going to have to...
Kevin, do you know what I mean by excited?
I think I'm going to have to ask my dad about this one, too.
I would love to hear that conversation.
You had to be a fly on the wall during that conversation.
By fly on the wall,
awful.
do you mean keep your Skype on?
I'm going to get my dad over here. We'll talk about it. I'm going to go, what? No, I'm not coming over there.
Good Lord.
All right. All right, folks. Guess that's all there is, and there isn't any more. And I think I just inadvertently referenced the Madeline series. So that's a new low for me personally.
Yeah, we're a team, Kevin. So now we're just not.
Yeah, we've both hit rock bottom.
We're not looking good right now. Well, at least we're getting that YouTube money now.
Yeah, right. All that money that we don't get. That's let's clarify that. So no, it's not to kill the joke. It's just so like a band that we're playing, who I tell that we're a non-profit show, isn't listening and thinking we're raking in the dough. Like Mike Bessler doesn't think that we're profiting off his good name. Mike the Music Man Bessler.
Mike the Music Man Bessler. That's going in my baby book.
All right. Thanks, folks, for tuning in. Leave comments to us at bowlingshoehandsome@gmail.com or at thebradyhicks.com or on our YouTube page. Search Bowling Shoe Handsome or user BSH Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin McElvaney. It's been great having you here, as always. For myself and young John, I say thank you and tune in again next week for more Bowling Shoe Handsome.
So don't ask me how I am, don't ask